I've been waiting for this moment for a very long time. This is the one. This is the one that's going to change everything. This is Black Adam. "5,000 years ago, Kahndaq was a melting pot of cultures, wealth, power, and magic. Yet most of us had nothing, except for the chains around our necks. Kahndaq needed a hero. Instead, they got me. I did what needed to be done, and they imprisoned me for it. Now, 5,000 years later, I'm free. And I give you my word. No one will ever stop me again." I have a knack for destroying bullies. But there are some who think I need help. Hawkman. Dr. Fate. And their new recruits. Cyclone. And Atom Smasher. They call themselves the Justice Society. An organization that believes in fighting for truth and justice. Well, I'm going to teach them that the only beliefs I fight for are mine. Welcome to Truth, Justice, and the Black Adam Way.
What is up, people of the DC Multiverse? Welcome to my Black Adam trailer. Well, coming out of DC Fandom teaser trailer breakdown, but also I want to get into the whole Shazam Fury of the Gods, Shazam 2 stuff, because naturally that ties in with Black Adam, and I think you should know how, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And honestly, I'm actually surprised how much they teased for this. I thought the full extent would be the suit and maybe a premise and some other details, but they dived deep into detail with that trailer, actually showcasing more of a story animation. So towards the very end, I'll very likely touch upon the Shazam 2 news because that was quite light. But I've got quite a lot to say about this whole Black Adam deal because, hey, I'm really hyped about it. I really can't wait for this to come out. And I think it's just it actualizing and coming to fruition in terms of teasers now means they're ready to get into business and there's actually some tangible, juicy things to get hyped for. Of course, guys, I've been pumping out so much stuff on the channel, so make sure you check out my Wonder Woman 1984 main DC Fandom trailer breakdown, as well as the Suicide Squad and a bunch of Batman videos. There was actually one that went up right before this. But anyway, as for Black Adam, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he's been trying to get this movie made for like a decade. I think lots of people know that. It's kind of common fact. And now it's finally getting a lot more momentum rolling thanks to DC Fandom revealing this little cooked up, cool little teaser trailer, as he puts it, where we can see Dwayne standing in this mock-up tomb, which you have to assume is the tomb that Black Adam was locked away in for 5,000 years up until present day, and where he'll obviously escape and face a lot of modern day heroes, which I can't wait to touch upon that. And the recap was awesome because we went over Black Adam's origin, which, as I just stated, 5,000 years ago, Kahndaq's magic was a lot more of an open and accepted thing, if you will, a lot more of the norm. Like, it wouldn't be remotely surprising to see magic compared to the normal dude in a city within the current DCEU, seeing someone like Shazam or other DC characters conjure some kind of magical power. Now, even though the world, having said that, has already been catapulted into a lot more of that stuff, and they're getting used to more of this in present day, especially considering we had the Shazam family flying around with all those witnesses at the end of the movie. But you know what I mean, like this was a much more prominent time for magic. Now, Black Adam, and I love how they delved into this. It was super cool. As I keep reiterating, it's so much more than what I expected. He has quite the interesting perspective, you could say. I mean, as Dwayne goes on to say himself, welcome to truth, justice, and the Black Adam way. Now, the trailer does a good job of taking a deep dive into the whole slave origin story and where he was fueled by that oppression to essentially go hardcore into the anti-hero path. And I mean, his own words should be something anyone questions in how he says, I'm going to teach them that the only beliefs I fight for are mine. But the thing that makes Black Adam such an interesting anti-hero, and not just to me, but I think this is something that attracts everyone to the character, is that you can kind of see how he adopted his own philosophy, morals, and kind of outlook on life, and how he became the person he is, just kind of exacting his own skewed and harsh extent of justice. As you progress through the trailer, he goes on to detail, I did what needed to be done, and I got imprisoned for it. Now, this is referring to his conflict with the Council of Wizards from 5,000, not 500 years ago. If you remember the Shazam movie, where we got that kind of magical holographic moment, where there was a discreet reference to Dwayne Johnson's Black Adam, when the wizard mentioned to Billy Batson how the previous champion who became evil released the 7 deadly sins. I mean, he wasn't named, but it was Black Adam. And he used these 7 deadly sins to help kind of liberate Kahndaq. But as a result of his, I guess you would say, questionable methods, he got effed over for it and locked away in that tomb you kind of see Dwayne standing in. Very interestingly, in the animation at this point, we see that at this time that jewel floating around Black Adam's face. Now, I think we have to assume that he was contained within this, just in a similar sense to how many of you are probably familiar with Eclipso and how he is contained within the heart of darkness, and that is actually going on in Stargirl. So many of you, or many more of you, may be familiar with Eclipso now, but I can't guarantee this. I have no idea why else this would be included at the part of the trailer, and somehow, you know, being locked away in that jewel, it must get activated, by which, as a result, Black Adam would be liberated. Love the part when he breaks free in his present day and how, you know, no one will ever stop him again. And honestly, in Black Adam's perspective, just stepping into his shoes for just a moment, imagine how triggered he must feel, or you would feel, feeling like as though you liberated and brought justice to the slaves of your own people, well, your own form of justice, but you get screwed over for it. And that's why no one in this present day iteration that we're going to see is going to stop him this time, because he's not going to be imprisoned, not at any costs, and he's going to exact his own justice through such conviction that it's gonna rub some feathers up the wrong way, I imagine, for certain other heroes, and we will get to that. And it's just going to serve for such interesting movies. And yes, plural. We will get into that as well. When we see the rubble of present-day Kahndaq, it's interesting because it's, well, all in rubble. It's kind of all destroyed, and then we see him sat on a throne, so I think he could be trying to restore it in some capacity or another. You could argue that his throne is somewhere else, but I can imagine he wants to rebuild his place in his own vision. And that is when we get to the Justice Society, or some of them at least, Hawkman and Dr. Fate. Now, it seems as though there's this superpowered collaboration going on here, and it's important to note that Black Adam and Hawkman and the others are all fighting the same enemy. So they're fighting for the same cause, except, going by Black Adam's words, they call themselves the Justice Society, fighting for truth and justice, but I'm going to teach them that the only beliefs I fight for are mine. Welcome to truth, justice, and the Black Adam way. I think we can all guess in this film, all these soldiers and you know, war they're fighting in, probably near to Kahndaq or whoever's taken over in present day. I'm guessing it's not going to be conducted in the most heroic way, but just by any means necessary kind of thing. As for Cyclone and Atom Smasher, obviously a part of the team. As for Atom Smasher, it looks like it will be a bunch of insane fun, just judging from what they tease. Also in the panel, he was described, and well, they were described as these new recruits, this and specifically Atom Smasher, this new superhero. Personally, I just can't wait to see the Justice Society on the screen. I know it's not all the Justice Society members. This is an adaptation at the end of the day. It's not going to have everyone in there, or there may be some members in there, but just some members more than others willing to work with someone like Black Adam. And I cannot wait to see Dr. Fate in live action, like DC EU movie level live action. Now, for some reason, Hawkgirl isn't in the movie anymore. Dwayne Johnson did say that they had to take her out for some reason or another, and even though she was originally part of the movie. Now, perhaps in the movie, I can just guess they'll put it down to like Hawkman saying that he hasn't found her reincarnated yet. I know that's kind of a lame version, but maybe she died and reincarnated and they just haven't reunited yet. I mean, I guess that would work. But this is where we get into even more teasers that just really excite me, even as I'm talking about this right now. And he says, I always thought it would be cool to hang out with Superman. And he compares the similarities between their powers and strengths. And he also teases that they could be friends, or they won't be friends. He says, maybe we'll see. So I think it's fairly self-explanatory, but just think about it for a second. Do we really think that Clark, Superman, will agree with Black Adam's way of achieving justice? I don't think so. So this is just setting up for some awesome future Superman versus Black Adam movie, or whether it's kind of incorporating the Justice League, because he does also say, let's get Flash, Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman, and let's let them know that some things will never be the same, because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. And he kind of winks, and it's very true. Like, we have this new insanely powered, and not only the fans, but the actor himself has been waiting for a long ass time to bring to fruition. It is arriving in the established canon of the DC universe. He's woken up, or should I say released, after 5,000 years, and I can't wait. I really love the suit design that they revealed in the trailer. It just looks like a more skewed perspective of obviously maintaining the Shazam stylistic aspects of what they established for the Shazam suit in the movie. Say what you will about Dwayne as well. Like, some movies he performs better than other movies, but I think he is very well casted for this role, and I think he's going to bring the character to life to a T. I think he was born for this role, to be honest, and I think a lot of people agree with that. And I think it's going to be him really engulfing and probably arguably, you know, given the hopeful success of the movie, one of his greatest performances yet. And I love the logo for the movie. It's a nice take and spin on the Shazam kind of theme, but Black Adam, obviously. So we know that Shazam and Black Adam are obviously going to exchange blows, likely in Shazam 3 or the Black Adam sequel movie. It depends how they're going to really orchestrate this kind of film lineup. And also there's, you know, whole talks about the Justice League getting involved, and that's a whole other spiral staircase, because it's like, well, there's more Justice League stuff going on. Is there going to be stuff like that? I think Dwayne is just trying to really obviously capitalize on the behind the scenes discussion going on, but also kind of manifesting the hype out there for fans, or like trying to put that energy out there. I'm not into manifestation or anything like that personally, but also getting and promoting fans' wants and desires like this, because he knows that fans would love to see Black Adam exchange blows with Superman and certain members of the Justice League, let alone Shazam. There's certain things that are guaranteed for sure, like Shazam versus Black Adam, but like also maybe Superman. But, you know, putting it out there for like the other grander things, that's very, very exciting. And I'm just looking forward to Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. That is honestly mainly one of the only things they said about that in the panel. But, you know, you would have to assume the title, Fury of the Gods, would be about the whole exploration into Billy Batson's new established Shazam family. And I really can't wait for that. I really enjoyed Shazam personally. Whether you did or didn't, to whatever capacity, I think we can all agree that the DCEU, I thought this beforehand, but especially coming out of fandom, has a very bright future in many different avenues. We've got things from Elseworld stories like Joker and the Batman, not that they're connected, just saying different Earths like their own thing, to established and healed DC canon. And one thing I think that's really going to kick that off, and this is something you should already know about if you've been watching my videos, is the whole Flashpoint movie, and how that's going to be adapted in its own unique way in terms of how Flashpoint didn't usually consist of exploring the multiverse, but that whole multiverse aspect will really kickstart the whole DC EU to DC TV to DC HBO Max hybrid stuff moving forward. Honestly, guys, there's a bright future for DC, and I think we're all feeling this vibe right now. So that's everything I've got to say in this video. You know what I'm going to say. I need to know your thoughts on this. Were you excited by it? Let me know down in the comments below, but also leave a like if you're liking the videos on the channel at the minute. I've been pumping out a lot. I know I've said that every video, but hey, I have been pumping out a lot, so thank you for all the encouraging words down in the comments. I really do appreciate that. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram. It honestly is just at BobaTalks or /BobaTalks, and whatever one you decide to look me up on. If you want to support the channel a little bit more and help fuel the videos that I'm making right this very second, you can find me on Patreon. The links will be in a top pinned comment and my Discord server. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you people of the DC multiverse in the next video. Goodbye.